Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3510. Today's date is July 29, 2025. It's been almost like a night at 10:30 p.m. All right, we directly jump into the question. Let's go. Okay. All right. Yeah. Question is: you disagree that creating wealth is difficult. Okay. All right. What exactly is this question? And yeah. Okay. First of all, this question is mostly associate with a kind of like a some self-assessment question. A self-assessment means like that ki you are analyzing yourself regarding about all those questions and things like that. Okay. Yeah. Regarding about this question is kind of like telling the things about wealth. Okay. And what is the wealth? Okay. Yeah. Money and wealth is a two different thing. Okay. Yeah. Money means money, exact money, like a, yeah. Wealth means like a money plus other things too. That kind of like a feels you good. Okay. Yeah. Feels good. Like, what exactly is this thing? Okay. Yeah. If I'm gonna say I have lot of money, so it means I have lot of money. Okay. If I'm gonna say I have lot of wealth, it means I have lot of money. I have lot of kind of like a simply valuable materials or things, gold, silver, platinum, whatever it is. I also have a lot of like a zameen or kind of like a simply that key, the, yeah, like the land. I am the owner of particular land and things like that. Okay. Yeah. Also another thing, I own multiple big houses. Okay. Yeah. Also another thing is that ki I am really like a this is kind of like a something the common like a definition of wealth. Oh yeah. But right now the wealth is determined by the very different things too. Okay. Yeah. Like these are things are also include like money and the land and the materials and things and gold and silver and coins and platinum. These are things. Okay. Yeah. Love, compassion, respect, these are also called as a kind of like a simply a wealth. Okay. Like basically you went to the somewhere and hundreds of people are kind of like a welcome to you, kind of like a respect you and things like that. It is also called as a kind of like a simply a wealth too. Okay. Yeah. So wealth is a combination of every possible good things. Okay. Money, materials, land, respect, love, compassion, everything. That is called kind of like a simply a wealth. Okay. Wealth is kind of like a, yeah. So question is that do you think creating wealth is very difficult? Do you think creating wealth is very difficult? Very difficult. Is it difficult? Is it kind of like a something very difficult? Okay. Yeah. It's a very subjective thing. Okay. It's a very subjective thing. Okay. As I mentioned, a lot of money means a lot of money. Okay. Yeah. But lot of wealth is also kind of like a something very different than lot of money. It's not just about money. It's not just about, it's like basically is this in a, it's a, okay. Yeah. Okay. It's a okay, let me explain. Okay. Yeah. The person who is actually earning 35 lakh rupees per month, but that person is not really happy in his life. That person is always in stress. That person doesn't really have any kind of like respect or love from someone. She just kind of like a simply that particular person is kind of like a doing just job and earning 35 lakh rupees per month, which is like a really insane amount of money. But yeah, do you consider that she is wealthy? No, she has a lot of money, that is true, but she is not wealthy. Okay. Yeah. Now compared to the other person, the guy who is kind of like a doing a construction worker, like he is kind of like a something not construction worker, like basically just say that he a kind of like a somebody guy. Okay. Yeah. Doing just a normal job, earning almost like a 25,000 rupees per month. Okay. Yeah. He is living with his family. He has a son, he has a wife, he has father, mother, as well as he has sister and brother too. Okay, yeah. He lives with a kind of like a somebody combined family. Okay, yeah. They celebrate each other, kind of like some time and things and everything. And when he came home, he doesn't really have any stress. Every time he came home, kind of like a somebody, entire situation is kind of like a somebody celebrate as a celebration and things like that. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a somebody close family and everyone are actually living together. So, and he's really happy with his in life. Okay, he has everything. He has wife, he has good job, he has everything. Okay, yeah. Obviously not that much amount of money, but kind of like a somebody love, respect, compassions, everything is actually included. So from my point of perspective, that person is wealthy. Wealthy is a kind of like a something very tricky kind of like a something phenomena. Okay, yeah. And also kind of like a something very subjective too. Okay, yeah. Because some people are not really considered that they are wealthy. Some people are considered that they are really wealthy. Okay, it's a kind of like a something a satisfaction, that how do you satisfied with whatever you have, and that is kind of like a something very essential factor for satisfied. Okay, are you satisfied for this, are you satisfied for the money that you have, or are you satisfied with the kind of like a something the value that you have, that is called, okay, wealth. Now I have to ask this question, that creating wealth is difficult or not? Well, that's a really good question. Okay, creating wealth is difficult or not? Okay, so let's just from my point of perspective, okay, what is actually my opinion? Okay, yeah. For me, do I think that creating wealth is kind of like something very difficult for me? Okay, what is actually definition from my point of perspective regarding about wealth? Okay, yeah. For me, I wanted to do some certain thing in my life. Okay, yeah. I have some sort of purpose in my life, and I wanted to establish that purpose, or do that purpose, or complete that purpose, or kind of like a something that I just wanted to do that thing. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a things that I have to do it. Okay, yeah. And for that particular thing, I wanted to kind of like a something spend my everything into it, energy, effort, and things like that. Okay, yeah. But as well as I also understand that when you are kind of like a running for your purpose and things like that, you might not have that much energy, or you might gonna kind of like lose and everything because of that. Sometimes is kind of like only the purpose that you have is kind of like a something suck you from inside. It doesn't really have any kind of like it kind of like a suck it entire happiness from you. Okay, yeah. So I don't want this thing with me either too. For me, work is very much important priority. Yeah, it's my first priority. But also love, these are kind of like a something very essential priority too. It's my second priority. Okay, yeah. Love and relationship. Okay, relationship is not just like kind of like a somebody girlfriend and wife relationship. No, I'm talking about relationship with every other person. Okay, yeah. And I am building that thing. Okay, I know that in the future I'm gonna earn so much amount of money. Okay, yeah. But it is really essential for me that I just have to develop the relationship from this moment. And I'm basically I'm building the relationship in very early in my life. Like I have friends, okay, yeah, still are connected with me, and kind of like somebody we are spending time. Obviously we are grown-ups, we all have jobs and things like that, we don't really have time to spend with each other. But still we kind of like decided that once in a year we kind of like gather together and kind of like spend some time, go somewhere else and things like that. Obviously the stuff that you are kind of like somebody hearing is not probably that much kind of like something special. Okay, having a friend is, you don't really feel that kind of like something special because everyone has a friend. Well, probably is this thing that everyone doesn't really have any friends. Yeah, and that is true, by the way. That is definitely true. Because of that, I seen there are so many people who consider that they have friends, but they don't really have kind of like a time to spend with each other, and that is kind of like my biggest problem. Okay, yeah, I have a friends, and basically I can spend time with those people, and I'm feel really lucky to have those people around me. Okay, yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that my relationship with other people is somewhat good. I'm not kind of like a say that it's really good and kind of like a simply no, but it's kind of like a simply that those people are with me and they are kind of like a giving me some sort of happiness in my life, some sort of giving me value in my life. I feel really good. I feel something that yes, okay. Also, love relationship, like I'm talking about partner. Okay, yeah. Right now I don't really have any girlfriend or anything like that. Okay, yeah, but in the future I might definitely gonna have. Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna treat her very respectfully regarding about my purpose and things like that. I also tell her regarding about what exactly stuff that I want and everything. Okay, yeah. Obviously is this thing that I'm not gonna say that my love and relationship is always gonna be good and great. No, there is kind of like some ups and downs, but it's just is that thing I would kind of like prepare for that thing, and I'm kind of like something make sure that my love relationship is kind of like a something would be a balance. Okay, regarding about my work and things like that. Okay, and also I will gonna kind of like put my effort on work. Okay, yeah, and kind of like a make money too. For me, wealth is kind of like a something money, relationship, respect, and appreciation, compassion, and everything. Okay, yeah. I just don't want to earn money. I just wanted to earn the place of someone hard. Okay, it's a really good thing. I wanted to earn a place for someone's heart, like किसी के दिल में थोड़ी सी जगह. Okay, yeah, like I wanted to earn that thing, like किसी के दिल में छोड़ी. What is exactly the meaning for that? I need a place in someone heart for myself, and this is kind of like a simply wealth that I will gonna kind of like a simply earn. Okay, yeah. But do you think that it will be kind of like a simply very difficult? Yes, it's not that kind of like a simply easy to. Okay, yeah. Obviously, is this thing there is a lot of ups and downs and things and something like that. It is, yeah. But if you are kind of like a simply willing to your life is dedicated towards that, you're gonna do that thing. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing na ki in entire life there is nothing really kind of like a easy. Everything is really difficult. But if you are kind of like a simply consider that ki this is the way that you have to go it, then yeah, like a let me explain. Okay, yeah. If I'm gonna mention some sort of name, you have to tell me how much you have respect for that particular person. Okay, yeah. Let's just say Donald Trump. Tell me the kind of like a something the rating 0 out of 10. Okay, yeah. So if I'm gonna say mention the Donald Trump, how much respect do I have for this person? I don't know him. I'm just kind of like a giving the rating regarding about the whatever the relation that I have and the relation that I have through the social media and things like that. Also, I seen him on the television, things like that. Okay, yeah. So I'm giving the kind of like a some rating regarding about how do I feel that particular person. I'm actually feeling 10 out of 3. Okay, yeah, 10 out of 3. Okay, because I don't know, I don't really think that this kind of like a somebody very right person to be a kind of like a something a president of United States. So I'm giving 10 out of 3. Okay, yeah. Now let's another question. Let's another person is that Elon Musk. Okay, yeah. How would you rate? How much you have respect? I'm gonna mention that key 10 out of 9. Okay, yeah. Obviously, his personal life is really fucked up and things like that. But the way that he did and the way that he kind of like somebody do such a thing, I always have admire that thing. So yes, I have a lot of respect for Elon Musk. 10 out of 9. Okay, yeah. Uh, then I'm gonna mention another name that key um, Obama. Okay, yeah, the United States, the former president of United States. I have 10 out of 8, he is kind of like a, one of the really amazing United States president, and I really admire the way that he did and way that he put the effort to make the world to make towards the peace and things like that. I really love him. So yes, I have kind of like a respect for that particular person. Now, Adolf Hitler, how much you have respect for Adolf Hitler? Obviously this person is not exist in this moment, but how much you have respect? You probably think that ki Adolf Hitler is a kind of like a some very fucked up person. He did something very crazy shit, and probably you shouldn't supposed to be respect him. So yeah, and regarding about the respect, I would not gonna give the kind of like a respect. Okay, yeah, but I would kind of like a somebody looking at him in very like a, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I know this person is really fucked up shit and things like that, but he has a very good quality of skills. He has a really good quality of leadership, and I wanted to learn the leadership from Adolf Hitler. He's really amazing person. The way that he leads the people, the way that he talk to the people, I wanted to talk like him. I wanted to be kind of like a somebody lead the people like him. So basically, I know the he person, the Adolf Hitler is really fucked up person, but I do have kind of like a simply respect for his craft, a leadership craft. Okay, yeah, and in that point of perspective, I'm gonna give him like a 10 out of 8 regarding about the leadership skills, the respect that I have. Okay, you are kind of like a simply don't kind of like a judge me. I'm kind of like I know that he what does Adolf Hitler did, but he's really very good leadership, and probably is this thing na ki leadership is a kind of like some skills that very less people have in these days. Very less people. Okay, yeah, right now introvert words became so much common that every people are kind of like consider that key they are kind of like an introvert and things like that, and they are really accepting this thing. But if we wanted to make the world better place, we need a kind of like a some leader like him. Okay, I know, but dude, it's just like how do you have you ever understand what he did? I know that I know the Holocaust. I know everything. I know everything that what does kind of like a somebody Adolf Hitler did something really fucked up with the Jewish people and things like that. I know. Okay, yeah, but it's just like that, na ki I'm just talking about his leadership skills. That's it. Okay, I am not gonna take any kind of like a some quality of skills. I just only wanted to learn leadership skills from Adolf Hitler, and I will gonna learn the leadership skills from Adolf Hitler. I don't know, but yeah, but I wanted to learn. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, na ki creating wealth is kind of like a something difficult or not. Well, probably is this thing na ki it's a very subjective thing. Okay, it's a kind of like a very subjective thing. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell you from my point of perspective is that ki I have to make the balance between the money and the people around me and all the things that really matter to me or not. I have to make the balance, and I think I can make that thing. Okay, yeah, but still life is really unpredictable. Things might be something happen that you can't really expected things happen. So yeah, I do accept that things too. Okay, yeah, but I don't know, but something inside me is kind of like telling me that okay, I would kind of like handle those situation. I would kind of like something figure it out the way that how do I supposed to make the balance for my happiness as well as money too. Okay, and as well as that key, like regarding about money. Okay, like do I want to earn so much amount of money? Like basically yes, I wanted to earn so much amount of money, but probably is this thing na ki if I earn so much amount of money, I might not understand the value of that money. What do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, it means that na ki like basically for me, if I earn 1 lakh rupees per month, I would have kind of like so much gravity regarding about that ki how would I spend 1 lakh rupees per month. But if I earn 10 million and 20 million dollar per month, then probably I can't even understand what is actually meaning of those 10 million. Like I don't really understand how do what kind of like a something stuff should I supposed to buy from that amount of money. Okay, yeah. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki I'm gonna make sure, I don't know why, but like basically I promised too early. I don't know, but it's just like that na ki whatever the money that I will gonna earn, I wanted to make sure that ki use that money to kind of like a something improve my life better. One thing, another thing is that ki improve other life better through kind of like a multiple ways. Okay, try to do something really much good for the people. I don't know, I'm not really sure how do I supposed to do this thing, and I don't know, but it's just like that na ki there are so many things like there, like I'm belong to the India. Okay, and in India we have so many problems, so many things, and I wanted to solve those problems. Okay, yeah. And I think money would be kind of like a things that would kind of like a simply help me to solve that problem. But I don't know, am I telling this thing too early? Because it just kind of like that ki life is very difficult. Okay, yeah. Even if you kind of like somebody mention that ki 10 million, 20 million or 50 million, you doesn't really understand this thing. But when you have kind of like a something that much responsibility, that means you're gonna need that much amount of money to, I don't know, dude. It's just like thinking about future is kind of like a something really fucked up shit. I just wanted to do my work. Okay, yeah, I can't really understand regarding about money and things like that, but still, for me wealth is a kind of like a something that ki creating space for other person heart. I want that space, I want that some little space in someone's heart, and I think this is kind of like a simply a wealth for me. Okay, yeah. And is it kind of like a simply very difficult? I don't know. I don't really kind of like a simply work that way. I just wanted to do those things. If the people consider me that I am kind of like a simply liable person for that particular thing, then that is okay. If they can't, then that is also okay too. Okay, yeah. Because it's kind of like a simply subjective. Okay, yeah. There is a one thing that I could do is kind of like a simply the stuff that I could do, and that's it. I'm focus on action first. Okay, yeah. What kind of like a simply things happen, good or bad, I don't know. Okay, yeah. And I'm also gonna understand that key in my entire period of lifetime, mistakes are kind of like something always be a happen. Mistake is a part of the process and things like that, and I also accept that thing too. So I don't know what is exactly is this thing, but for me this is a kind of like a simply wealth. Okay, yeah. And is it kind of like a simply difficult or kind of like a simply easy? I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah. Because kind of like a simply that key, I don't know. Okay, yeah, probably is this thing that I can't give the proper answer regarding about the wealth, because the definition of the wealth is a kind of like a something very tricky. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of things are actually responsible for that situation, matter, surrounding people and love and relationship and money and lot of things. Okay, yeah, I can't control all those things. I'm just gonna make sure that my action would kind of like a simply be for someone better. That's it. All right. I don't know, I'm just kind of like a sounded like a kind of like a only very like a superhero kind of like a some stuff. But not whatever. This is it, I should supposed to be in here, and thank you.